Welcome to Remnant TV. Hi, my name is Jasmine. For all my first time guests, type first time in the chat. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Thank you for tuning in today. We will be continuing our homecoming series.
With the state that our world is currently in, taking care of our mind, body, and soul is more important than ever. But don't worry, we have a few tips for you. Tip number 1. A well-balanced diet is full of fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, beans, healthy fats, proteins, and probiotics. I know we don't all like to eat healthy, but we have to do better as food is what fuels our body. So try to increase your water and decrease your soda. Or maybe swap out chips for an apple. Little changes here and there can go a long way. Tip number 2. Regular physical activity can help you feel more energetic, improve your focus and attention, and promote better outlook. Plain and simple, we gotta get moving, y'all. It doesn't matter what it is that you choose to do. Some people like to bike, some people run, play football, yoga, even if you just walk. Moving at least 30 minutes a day will improve your health tremendously. So that means we gotta put down the video games, watching TV all day, and just being up in social media and start moving our bodies. Tip number 3. Teenagers should get 8 to 10 hours of sleep each night. It is the fuel that powers our brain and its development. Now I know y'all like to be night owls and stay up all night, but we have to stop that. Our body needs rest. And if you're a napper, you should keep your naps to under an hour, or that will mess up your sleep for the night. As it's getting closer to bedtime, we want to limit screen time, caffeine, even hard studying. You should have been doing that earlier, right after school. But instead, we should be doing things that will relax our body. So it's good to get a regular nighttime routine, whether you like to take a bath at night, do some stretches, light some incense or candles, and just get into a relaxing mode. That's important because that will help foster you into your sleep. And lastly, tip number 4. Incorporating tips 1 through 3 of healthy eating, exercise, and sleep in your everyday life will help to lower your stress. We have so many burdens put on us from school and homework, dealing with family life, and sometimes that can be a lot on us, but it's important that we figure out how to balance our feelings and emotions. So try to get away from all that, those negative thoughts and self-doubt, but instead, surround yourself around good friends, listen to some music, write in a journal. And if you're open to it, go ahead and talk to somebody. You have counselors at school, and then here with your Remnant family, you have Minister Dre and all the youth leaders who are always an open ear if you need someone to just decompress with and vent about what's going on with life. We certainly can give you some good tips. We hope that these tips have been helpful. Don't forget, exercise regularly, get adequate sleep, eat healthy, and do things that will help lower your stress. All right, guys, it is time for trivia. In a moment, you'll see a question pop up. You have 20 seconds to put your answer in the chat. The first one with the correct answer wins. Simple as that. Our leaders will be monitoring the boards to see who was the first to put it in. Okay, question number 1. Who is the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
T-minus 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
All right, y'all, time is up. Now on to the next question. What college did the late Chadwick Boseman attend?
T-minus 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
All right, y'all, time is up. Now on to the next question. Who was the first Black woman to run for president?
T-minus 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
And time is up again. Congratulations to all those who got everything right. But in case you missed it, here are the answers. Question 1. Who is the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? Will Smith. Question 2. What college did the late Chadwick Boseman attend? Howard University. And question number 3. Who was the first black woman to run for president? Shirley Chisholm. Thank you for playing.
I was down bad. Everywhere I looked, everybody turned their backs. Streets like we got to work. Say the word, man. Come and get the bag. Nah, I'ma chill cause it's worth it. I've been here before and he worked it. And I can say without a doubt, I know my God will truly work it out. Doesn't matter what the problem, God will work it out. Anytime, a situation, he will work it out. I don't have no doubt, God will work it out.
Work it, work it, work it, work it, work it. Woo! Work it, work it, work it, work it, work it.
When some spring fall, trouble keep coming out of nowhere. It doesn't have respect at all. Somebody going through it somewhere. You wondering what you're gonna do. You wondering how long it take. You wondering if you ever make it, if you ever get through. You can't see the light of day nowhere. The enemy trying to make you feel like this will be always. But you know, like I know, that trouble it never lasts always. So hold your hands up high. God is on your side, and he loves you, and he cares. He's so faithful.
Never fail.
Doesn't matter what the problem, God will work it out. Anytime, a situation, he will work it out. Trust, he got all power. God will work it out. Work it, 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 work it.
Seem like everybody else doing so much better than you. They just got it all together, and you just trying to get through. You don't see no results. I'm not laughing, this is not a joke. Cause I'm telling you, if God don't come through soon, man, I might just, I don't know. The enemy trying to make you feel like this will be always. But you know deep down that you gotta come out of this someday. So hold your head up high. See, God is on your side. So hold your head up high, cause God is on your side. And he loves you, and he cares. He's so faithful. Never fail.
Doesn't matter what the problem, God will work it out. Any type of situation, he will work it out. Nothing too hard for God will work it out.
Work it, work it, work it, work it. I work it, work it, work it, work it, work it, work it, work it. I work it, work it, work it, work it, work it. Work it, work it, work it.
Sing.
Be not dismayed. Whatever
Don't you worry about that.
betide, God will
Don't you worry about that.
take care of you. Don't you worry about it.
Don't you worry about that.
Don't you worry about it. Hey, work it out.
I believe without a doubt that my God will show love.
Work it out.
He done brought me up before, so I know that he will.
Work it out.
No problem too big for my God, cause he will.
Work it, work it, work it, work it. Hey, work it out.
I believe without a doubt that my God will truly.
Work it out.
He done brought me up before, so I know that he will.
Work it out.
No problem too big for my God, cause he will.
Work it, work it, work it, work it. Hey, work it out. Trust me, he done saved me, he done did it for me.
Yeah.
Cause time and time again, he opened doors for me.
Yeah.
And I would never ever doubt his love for me. Now how could I ever doubt his
Thank you, Jazz, for that introduction. Hey, listen, y'all, I hope y'all have been enjoying Remnant TV so far. But listen, this is homecoming season, and we've been having some great talks and participating in some amazing things throughout Zion Church. And this week, we are talking Black excellence, y'all. And let me tell y'all, I have I mean, I can't say enough about this Black excellence that I got with me today. I have my brother and my sister who some years at a university brought us together, and they were let me put this out there, they were Black excellence before they did what they did at Bowie State University. But what they were able to accomplish just kind of put it into play, like, for everybody to see. And so I am excited to welcome Ms. Tamika Harris, right? Tamika, say hey to the people.
Hey to the people. Hey.
Yes, indeed. And then I got my brother, Mr. Christian Limas. Say what's up to the folks.
Hey, y'all. How y'all doing? All right now?
Cool. So look, y'all, like I said, we went to Bowie State University, and that's where we all met. And there were some amazing things to happen on that campus. And some things will remain untold. But what we are going to talk about is just how they were able to accomplish what I believe is Black excellence. And so let's just start off with actually, we're not even going to get into the questions. I want to do something a little different. I want to do some rapid fire. Now, this is rapid fire where I'm just going to shout out some stuff. Now, I got a set of rapid fire questions for you, Christian, and I got a set of rapid fire questions for you, Tamika. They're going to be different just in case one of y'all want to cheat. So we're going to start with ladies first. So Tamika, here we go. You ready?
Yes.
All right, rapid fire. Best vocalist of all time.
Best vocalist of all time.
All time.
Would be my mind just says Whitney Houston.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, boom. Sweatpants or leggings?
Me still? Oh, leggings.
Okay, cool. Braids or short hair, don't care?
Short hair, don't care.
Favorite season of the year?
Summer.
Summertime.
Without
All right.
doubt. Mm-hmm.
Crabs or crab legs?
Ooh, crab legs.
Come on, somebody.
Yes, easy. Come on.
Straight up easy. Oatmeal or cream of wheat?
Grits. I'm a girl raised in the South, Savannah, Georgia, all the way. Grits. None of that other stuff. Sorry.
Straight up.
Sorry, no sorry.
Good stuff. All right, Christian, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready, man. What you got?
Here we go. Netflix or Disney Plus?
Netflix.
LeBron or MJ?
What?
I know, that's awful.
Why would he do? I gotta go with MJ. I'm a LeBron fan, but I gotta go with MJ. Either goat, you know?
Yeah.
Okay. Best burger joint?
Ooh. There's a place called Elevation Burger.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if y'all been there, heard of that.
Mm-mm.
Pretty on point. Check it out.
Okay. Best cereal of all time?
So I like Kix, not just the regular flavor, the Kix berries. That, for me, that was it right there. Not regular Kix, but Kix berries, you know. That's it right there. Okay.
Lastly, favorite artist, hip hop artist of all time?
Biggie. Hands down, Notorious B.I.G. It's always Pac and Big, but Biggie for me, for sure.
Solid. Now that's awesome, y'all. Now let me tell you this, based upon some of y'all answers, some people may tune you out for the rest of this duration of the conversation, but I thought I'd give the people an opportunity to get to know who we had with us today. So look, y'all, let me just kind of paint this picture real quick. everybody, Remnant family, the two individuals that I'm able to converse with today did something on our campus. They achieved what was called Mr. and Miss Bowie State University. And I'm going to let them talk about what that actually meant, kind of like how that phased out, and then what they went on to do afterward. But I want you all to understand, just kind of get some context for this conversation. And we all went to, like I said, Bowie State University, oldest HBCU in Maryland, doing excellent right now. I mean, it looks nothing like it looked when we went there. But when we go back, it's still home. And man, listen, y'all, I was so upset that no homecoming this year. I was so looking forward to that.
Me too.
But it's all good. It's all good. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into it. So we already got your name. We already know what school y'all went to. What did y'all major in when y'all were there?
Go ahead, Christian. Oh, sorry. Okay. I majored in communications media management at Bowie State, bachelor's.
Solid. And also, by the way, if you got like a master's, cool, you can put that out there as well. If you know,
I mean, I have two of them. So which one you want?
I mean,
I'll just play, y'all. I'm sorry, Remnant. Well, I have a remnant of a entertainment business master's degree and a remnant of a instructional design and technology degree. So, yeah. So, I mean, and just so people know, I did graduate. I was just trying to,
Good. Christian.
My major was communications as well, with a concentration of broadcast journalism. That was my only degree I received at the time. So, and I did graduate. Yes, I did.
Good. It's always important to put that out there, because some people be repping schools, but they ain't got nothing. Okay, whatever.
Never mind. We won't go there.
Yeah. So since our theme is homecoming, y'all, what did y'all love, or what's like the one thing you love most about homecoming? Like, what's the one thing you love the most? Like, man, when I get on the yard, I cannot wait to.
It's just family. Like, I don't know about anybody else, but Bowie State, like, to this day, I've known these guys, Dondre, Christian, I've known them for over 15 years now. And it's like, every time I see them, it's love. Anytime we're on the yard, it's love. It's like we don't talk every day. We just pick up from where we left off, and it's still love. Like, it's love. It's not like I kind of like you, kind of know who you are. It's like, no, this is embraced family. So that's the biggest thing that I love about homecoming, is just seeing all my fam.
Solid.
Yeah, I agree, bro. Like, I mean, to me, just seeing everyone, all the faces I haven't seen over the year, even though, we have social media and all these different things we can keep in touch with, but seeing people face to face, it's nothing like it. And one of the things I would say too, every time I go up there, I have different feels depending on where I go. So, you could be, as soon as you get on the yard, you see all the plots, see all the Greek letter organizations out there, you have that different feeling. And then once you go to the field, you hear the band before you even get down there. And it's simply a soul SOS band, right? Yeah. So that, and you know what I'm saying? That in itself is also things to look forward to. Then you got the game, just all these things that kind of hit you when you go up there. But I think family, like, for real, definitely is the most exciting thing, just to see my Bowie State family, for sure.
Yeah, and I think all of what Christian said, I don't know if everyone knows that there's a difference between homecoming at a HBCU, a historically Black college and university, and homecoming at another type of university.
Right.
And at an HBCU, it is, I think, family is awesome, but Blackness is just preeminent. We can celebrate who we are without changing up, code switching, being somebody else. We could totally enjoy who we are, from the cookouts on the plot, like Christian mentioned. Yep. It's just like, it's everything.
It is. I think what's really funny is like, when I go, I always park over like by the mock train, and where the mock train station is, and walk through MLK.
Yeah.
That's a must. Like, to walk through MLK, and then just all of the classes that I took in that building started to come to mind, and it's just so nostalgic. It's just an awesome feeling, man, to do homecoming every year.
I agree.
So when you hear the term Black excellence, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
Christian, you go take it.
Okay, I got you. So I think it's a few things. First off, it's something that you can aspire to be, and it's something that describes certain things, right? So when you hear Black excellence, you think of power, you think of strength, you think of perseverance, you think of being the best at whatever that is, you think of success, you think of all these different things that people can aspire to be or align yourself with. So I always just think of these powerful, I don't know why, power always comes to mind when I hear Black excellence, because I think when I think of power, I think Black, and when I think of Black, I think power anyway. So it's kind of synonymous to me. But Black excellence just means all these things that personify greatness and things for, people to achieve, to be.
Good. That's awesome.
Yeah, I agree. I agree that to what Christian said, I think to help people apply that, what he just said today, is that Black excellence is nothing but a choice. It's a decision. You can choose to be Black excellence right now. You don't have to wait. You don't have to wait till you get the latest thing or, be the latest thing. You can make the decision right now to be Black excellence.
Absolutely.
That's awesome, because keeping in mind our viewers, our Remnant family, these are middle and high school students, and so there might be a student watching right now who's like, yeah, I could be Black excellence when I get in my 20s or when I get my family, which yeah, you can, but to your point, Tamika, how can you frame that up, and how can you package that up for a teenager?
Black excellence is as simple as when your parent or guardian tells you to do something in the house, like a chore or whatever you're responsible for, that you do it with the best of your ability, that you do it not because, they're your parent. You're doing it to kind of help out, to be a part of the family, to contribute. And I know that sounds like craziness to our crowd right now, right? But another example is probably like doing your schoolwork or your sports to the best of your ability, Black excellence is a choice. It's not something that you're necessarily born with. You can choose. There are people who have less than the average person, and yet they can choose to be Black excellent or excellent, whether they're Black or another color, but we're talking about Black excellence right now. They could choose to be the best server at a restaurant right now, and that is still Black excellence. I think when we think about Black excellence, we think about the President Barack Obama, Michelle Obama, and Oprah and all those other people. Well, they got to that level. They became Obama and Oprah Winfrey, not through the magazines and television and through the political scene, by just being a regular, everyday human,
right,
making the decision, a bunch of decisions after the other to be excellent in that moment, got them where they are.
Wow.
So we can't wait until the big moment to be Black excellent. We have to be Black. We have to be excellent right now, as a child to my parents, as a sibling to my brothers and sisters, as a cousin, as a niece, as a nephew, as a student, and so on.
Wow. Christian, I'm gonna come to you in just a second, but one thing I want to just kind of pull out real quick or highlight that you said was that excellent Black excellence is made a choice, a decision at a time. So it's decisions that can lead you up to, whatever platform that you aspire to get to, but it doesn't happen like that. It's literally a decision at a time.
It's a decision at a time.
Man, that's solid. Christian,
I can be black. I can lose weight, and that's black excellence too. Because I'm getting, not necessarily for the look of it, although that is a great okay, but just to feel good,
sure.
right? What's my decision in the moment? Am I going to eat this ice cream that I just ate and it was a pint of it and it was so good? It was called Netflix and Chill. Don't judge me. Am I going to eat that, or am I going to choose to eat a salad? So it's small, tiny decisions that lead up to black excellence. Go ahead, Christian. I'm sorry. Had to get
No,
that out.
no, that was great. And I think to add on to that is doing those things that will make your family or your parents or whoever you look up to or your ancestors proud. So you making those decisions on a day-to-day basis, knowing they're positive decisions, that's a key thing too. Positive decisions that you're making to impact someone, your life, someone else's life, to make that better or yourself better. So, you know, like you're saying, working out, you're helping your health, you're making your health better, you know, so that way you can do these things to keep you going on a day-to-day, keeping your mind clear, doing those type of things. So taking those steps every day, making those decisions every day that are in a positive step towards excellence, or something that you think like, hey, if I do this right now, will my parents be proud of me? Or will the person I look up to be proud of me? And that right there is excellence in itself too. Yeah. So all of those positive things and those things in mind that you're keeping in mind to, you know, for who it may impact later on in a positive way. So, you know, great point too.
That's good. That's so good, man.
Yeah.
What do HBCUs mean to you all? Right. So it's a two-part question. What do HBCUs mean to you? And then would you encourage students watching to consider going to an HBCU, and why?
Absolutely.
Go ahead, Christian.
Yeah.
Just to kind of go, like, I don't know. I have a special connection with HBCUs. Both my parents went to Bowie State University, so I was at homecoming every year.
Wow.
Okay, every year. Didn't know what it meant. Didn't know homecoming was bigger than the Delta Plot or the Kappa Plot, or, you know, we can get into that later. But every year, so I was surrounded by this institution that I grew up in, not knowing, and it impacted me in different ways. So for me, my connection with HBCUs are special because that's all I applied to when I was coming out of high school. I wanted to be at an institution where I felt like I could be at home and let my hair down. Some of the things that Broadway alluded to earlier about, you know, coming to a place where you can just be yourself. There's other places you could do that, but historically Black College University, I think from the staff, from the professors on down to the security, like everyone you see around either looks like you, or, you know, you have a family or something that comes from the same environment that they may come from. You know, like the connection is not that far off.
Sure.
And I definitely would empower everyone to apply to HBCU. Everybody. I don't understand why you wouldn't do that at all. And I mean, there's just so many different things historically that HBCUs provide that some other schools may not.
Yeah.
And just, you know, just from that perspective of being, you know, Black and African American in community, like you want to be around those people who are like you as well. Too. So, you know, HBCUs are great in my opinion. Like there's no reason why anybody should not apply for one and try to go to one for sure.
Mean to you?
I mean, I clearly agree with Christian. Yeah. Absolutely. If you have a drop of African American blood, even if you aren't, you know, Black, that's fine. That's great. We accept everybody. Yeah. But I guess for me, as a Black woman, it was, and I didn't know how important it was going to be important for me as a Black woman to go to a HBCU. Bowie State chose me. I was just applying out to all kinds of different schools. I was not aware of what a HBCU was until Bowie State chose me. But when I got there, the nurturing ability that HBCU has, it's almost like a parent, a guardian, right? Because you have all of these. So to me, okay, so I know I'm gonna date myself, and I know a lot of my Remnant family is not going to really understand me right now. But if you go on Amazon Prime, you can find this show called A Different World. And when I was growing up, A Different World, the jam. So I always wanted to go to Hillman College, which was the set of that show.
Yeah.
And Bowie State was really like a Hillman for me. It was just like, your resident, the resident directors, the adults that are in charge at our dormitories, they were involved in our lives. They weren't just like, we couldn't just do whatever we wanted. So you had people who were just like communal to us, even though they didn't know us, they embraced us. So again, family, relationship, connection, it's just all of that. So yeah, I would totally suggest an HBCU. You could go to other schools after that, is my opinion. But that bachelor's degree or associate's degree or whatever you're intending to get.
Let alone Miss Bowie.
Well, like a lot of the Remnant family out there, they know what SGA is, right? I like you, like them, started going to SGA in middle school. I started being a part of SGA in middle school, I think. Yes, middle school. And then high school. It wasn't like I was like trying to be a part of SGA wherever I went. It was just what we did. I found friends. We wanted to hang out after school. That was the thing to do. And my mama wasn't gonna let me hang out anywhere else but school. Okay. So that was it. I happened to stumble upon SGA at Bowie State. Okay. This is a whole different type of ecosystem, environment, right? Like it's different than the schools where the bell rings. You gotta go around and figure things out at a college. You don't have a bell ringing to tell you when the next class is going to be. So you kind of have to take it upon yourself to walk around, get to know new people, see new things, explore. And I think one day I did, and I just kind of opened up a door. And I remember a very good dear friend of mine, of ours, who's gone on. He mentioned something to me about my cheekbones. He was like, "Oh, you have great cheekbones." Now, this was before the Netflix and chill pints of ice cream that I've been eating since then. Okay, don't judge. You can't see them now, but they're still there.
Because that just took me back, and that is so him to like not know you at all. And to just drop something like that on you.
He commented, he said, "You have great cheekbones." And I was like, "Thank you." And before I knew it, I was back signing up to be a part of SGA. Nice. That's my story. I'm a pause there to let Christian chime in.
Okay. So for me, student government began at Bowie. In high school, I wasn't the most active within the student government SGA. I did things outside of school because, like your mom, Tamika, my mom was not going to let me go anywhere or do anything crazy. She had me busy all the time. So I was involved in all these extracurricular things outside of school. So I was always used to doing something, being a president or vice president or co-chair of something outside of school. So when I got to Bowie, one of the first people that I did meet was the gentleman you're talking about, Will Ridley. And he was one of the first people I saw in the long financial aid line. He was actually one of the first people I saw. And I think he had this such of his presence is just so, I can't even think of the word, but
magnetic.
Thank you. It was so magnetic. Like you knew when he was in the building. Okay, and everyone knew him. I'm like, who's this person, right? So fast forward beyond that, I was always looking to just be involved in different things, and I realized that there was this main office within the Wiseman Center that everyone was always in, people that look like me, students and things like that. And I'm like, okay, so I would stumble upon there, kind of check it out. One of the first people I met at Bowie was my Mr. Bowie at the time was Jeffrey Tyler. So he used to be in that office a lot too, along with Will Ridley, along with other people. So I would come back here and there, just kind of, chop it up a little bit here and there with them. So I didn't really get technically involved until I became Mr. Bowie. I was around activities and I was around how things, came to fruition from a concept to a thought to planning out to making it happen. And I understood the positions, but I never was in student government until I actually became Mr. Bowie. Wow. So prior to that, it was just me helping out with events. We did music on campus and things like that. So we were always involved with either the junior class, sophomore class, or something providing a service. And then I knew everyone within student government because I was there all the time, every year. So after that, you know, so I would have to say student government chose me on that too. But that's when I became more interested in Mr. Bowie. Like, okay, what position can I run? What can I do? How can I impact my campus? And, you know, just once I met Jeff early, you know, Tamika was already doing her thing, so I already knew, you know, and I was actually, you know, being on the court. That was my first time. Actually, let me rewind. I was on your court.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes. Right.
That's
so,
true.
but being in, like, you know, a prominent student government position wasn't until I was Mr. Bowie.
I will agree with Christian, actually. I'll have to go back a little bit. So I did open the door. Will did say, you know, he commented on my cheekbones, which are hiding right now, but he commented on my cheekbones. And then I started to be in, you know how planets orbit around the sun or the moon or whatever they orbit around. That just goes to show I have so many degrees, I don't even know how planets orbit. Anyway, I just started to like circle around this Wiseman Center space, which was the student center, and got pulled in to like be a part of different things. And it wasn't until I was Miss Junior that I was actually in SGA. And then it matriculated into Miss Bowie State. So remember, like I said, decisions, small, tiny decisions, you know, connections led us to where we ultimately became king and queen on campus.
So talk a little bit about that, like that king and queen of the campus. Like kind of dial into that a bit, like talk to the students about what that means, what that was like what it, you know, because I think one of y'all said like this was it was different. It's at another level, student government, when you start talking about the college level. But you know, you got, because like in middle school, high school, you got your you know, your king and queen of homecoming for that weekend.
Yeah.
But when you get to the college level, you're king and queen of the university.
Right. I think, Christian, if it's okay for me to just kind of, while I can yet remember, because you know,
absolutely,
when you get in them 30s, it's okay.
I'm in the 20s, but go ahead.
You're in the 20s. Okay. Hey, no judgment. I know your real age. It's okay. I think everyone watched Beyonce's Black is King, right?
Yes.
And Beyonce did a very good, amazing job on taking us back through time to Mother Africa, right? To some of our roots, and gave us a lot of good visuals of who we are as a people. And I have to give you this context, Remnant, because king and queen at a historically Black college and university is more than just people who get voted on and they start wearing a crown and sash on campus. Right. The connection is that we are representative of the royalty, and it goes deep, but we connect to the royalty of where we come from, which is Africa. Sure. And so I don't want to say emulate that, but we simulate that, I guess, in some way, shape, form, or fashion at a historically Black college or university, because it's important for us we don't get a lot of, remember, when historically Black colleges and universities were founded, this was right after slavery ended, which is 1865, right? So we didn't have a lot of great images of who we were. It wasn't until maybe the 60s or the 70s, for some colleges even earlier than that, that they started to create, you know, queens, and then sometime after that, kings started to come into play. And that is to really help us see ourselves in a high place, in a great place, in a place of Black excellence, right? And so fast forward, you have 2004, 2005, my year as Miss Bowie State University. Now, what does that mean? Okay, well, yes, people do vote for you. You do campaign. It's just like, you know, high school or middle school, where you have to campaign to be in a position. and people do vote for you. But it's beyond just popularity. It's about being a servant, being available to the student body to hear, to connect with the student body and represent the student body on campus, in the local community, and beyond.
Solid.
I hope that didn't confuse anybody. I was trying to be as simple.
I think it was good because like you said, you had to paint a picture, because you hear now it's literally, it could be, if it's dumbed down, you could definitely put it into, oh, this is a popularity contest.
It's a beauty pageant, right? Like, it's a beauty pageant.
Right.
But we've, as far as the queens are concerned, we know that we've come as women, as Black women, we've come from a lineage of women that are represented on my shirt, from Harriet Tubman to Hattie Daniels and Ida B. Wells and Rosa Parks. These are women that we looked up to in the global world. But in your community, sometimes it's hard to see Black excellence right where you are. And so kings and queens are created to, now this is my explanation. I don't know if anybody else gonna give you this explanation, but in my mind, kings and queens are created on campus to not only connect us to our roots and our heritage in Africa as royalty, but also to be, to represent our student body, to represent Blackness, to represent good Black excellence in the world.
Solid.
Oh, I should run for president, honey. That was good.
I mean,
see why not?
Woo! Oh, that gave me chills. I gotta drink some water.
Go ahead now. So, Christian, to that same question, but I do want to throw in a fun fact. Like, your dad was Mr. Bowie, right?
No, he wasn't. He probably might have thought he was Mr. Bowie at the time, but he wasn't. No, he wasn't Mr. Bowie.
But your parents, they were definitely active on campus, correct?
Yeah, they were active on campus. They were definitely involved with both the Greek letter organizations.
Right.
For my dad, I think there was a couple of like little clubs and things that they might have been a part of back then. But they were definitely active on campus, not to the level of which I was, but they definitely, were doing a lot within the organizations as much as they could too. But within my organization, we definitely had a few Mr. Bowies. I think we had about 6 Mr. Bowies from Kappa Alpha Psi too, so within our chapter. So it's definitely a good connection between myself and those gentlemen too.
Yeah.
But let me just say, that explanation that you just gave, bro, I mean, I didn't even know. Okay, that's what it was. You just enlightened me on my position that I had. I was like, why did you think of it like that?
She right.
Right. I'm gonna have to take this recording. Somebody asked me, what is that? I'm gonna play it back. No, I agree. And I mean, just looking back at the time, being on campus as Mr. Bowie, I was definitely the connection for young gentlemen there to, for who they wanted to aspire to be, or maybe could not express themselves the way they wanted to during that time. So us being able to have that listening ear, us being able to start programs and activities for gentlemen to come, to have etiquette classes and learn how to tie a tie, like doing these things for my brothers on campus who may not be comfortable asking someone else, hey, can you help me tie this real fast? Or can you help me do this? And we create these platforms and, we're the representation so that way they can come to us to help them, do whatever they need to do too. So leading from that representation of from Africa to here, for us to have that connection to our peers and to younger, and then realizing the impact. And Tamika, I'm pretty sure you might have felt this too, but the impact that we had on the younger generation as Mr. and Ms. Bowie. People still come up to you like, you're my Mr. Bowie.
Yeah. That's usually the freshmen who are saying that.
Exactly.
So think about 9th graders seeing a 12th grader be Mr. and Miss Gwen Park High School. I'm gonna pick on my high school because whoever's in ninth grade is gonna always look at who's Mr. and Miss Gwen Park High School. Like, you're my Mr., you're my Miss Gwen Park High School, Yep. So it's like that. It is.
It is.
And I love the fact that you brought up the piece about Black excellence as males, because let's be honest, that is totally different. And I respect that realm so much. And I adore watching gentlemen helping other gentlemen succeed in any way they can. It's amazing.
Right. And I think that was the biggest key for me, was to be able to do that, or to help that, or be the catalyst for that in any way, shape, or form. So
and you did a great job. Yes, you did.
Thank you.
So I'm gonna go back for a second, because Christian, when you were Mr. Bowie, that's when I was SGA vice president, and I remember going down to Missouri. Was it Missouri?
Yeah, St. Louis. Yep. Or yeah, I think it was. Yep.
For the Mr. HBCU competition. So now we've kind of upped the ante a bit, because we're no longer like, it's not just you at your university. You're surrounded by kings, HBCU kings. Like, how did that feel? Like, because Tamika just mentioned something solid, like how she loved the fact that, you were a representation. And it's one thing to be the representation, but to be able to look around and be like, yo, you're me, I'm you. We're doing this on our individual campuses. Like, how did that make you feel?
I was proud, man, to be around kings who were impacting their campus as much as they could, just like I was. Yeah. People who, strive to be better, who have these monumental goals and things that I'm not, we're just sitting around brainstorming on different things and different topics. And, you're kind of mind blown just listening to these gentlemen and what it took for them to become a king, and, how are they trying to leave their legacy and their mark. And being on that campus, I don't think they had a Mr. I think what school was it? Jackson? I can't remember school at the time. Excuse me. It's skipping my mind right now. But I don't think they had a king on their campus too. So when we got there, they're like, who are these guys up there with the sashes and the crowns and all these, and the suits every day? So to be in the presence and to have that impact just makes you feel, good that you can actually be that representation of something different or excellence, or something, that will leave a mark in people's minds. So just being around all those guys during that weekend was very special. And I believe that was the second one they had too. So we were still making our mark just that second year too. Yeah. So, it was just special to be around them for sure.
And, I've gone to the websites for both Mr. and Miss HBCU, and y'all's names are still there. And I'm like, them my folks right there.
I'm glad about that.
People's right there. I love it. So can you all talk about briefly the kind of like the weight, like obviously the weight of the Mr. and Miss Bowie State University position, but then to take that up to the weight of Mr. and Miss HBCU, like you go from a almost like a micro community to now a macro community. And on a larger scale. Like, to me, when I got this theme, I said, man, Black excellence, and we talking about homecoming. I know two people who embody that. To be a Mr. or Miss of a university, but then to be a Mr. or Miss of the collective HBCUs, that's the only word I can come up with when I hear that is Black excellence. So like what did that mean for you all? Did it make you feel that, like, man, this is amazing? Was it frightful, terrifying? Like how would y'all describe that?
It was a mixed bag. So just to help my Remnant family, it's almost like Mr. and Miss Gwen Park High School, Mr. and Miss Friendly High, Mr. and Miss Largo High, Mr. and Miss, where else can I say? Riverdale High. Who else?
Suitland.
Mr. and Miss Duval. It's like a suit, Mr. and Miss Suitland. So all the Mr. and Mrs., Mr. and Miss
Yeah.
come together to compete
Yeah.
for the ultimate prize, which is, in my mind, not just a crown, not just another sash, but to get my school's name printed and recognized on a more national scale, because it's a national crown.
So it's
and
bigger than you.
Yeah, and it's bigger than the community we serve, and it's bigger than the local, Bowie, DC, Maryland. This is national, right? So, it was all of what you mentioned: nerve-wracking, fearful, proud, excited. It was all those things. And what most people won't know, my mother and I just talked about this the other day. What most people won't know about my time competing for, Miss National Black College Alumni Hall of Fame, or Miss NBCA HOF for short. I mean,
all of that.
I had a nervous breakdown. That's right, boys and girls. Before getting on stage, I had a moment where I could not take anymore. And I felt like giving up.
Yeah.
And I cried, and I couldn't do what I normally could do for myself, put my clothes on, things like that. There was this glitch in my brain that I just couldn't get out of. And gratefully, my mother was there to help me through that moment. And I remember in the fog of trying to realize where I was and what I was doing, her voice pierced through that fog. And one question she asked me was, Tamika, did we come all this way for nothing? Remember, I was making tiny decisions of Black excellence along, and I get to the place where this Black excellence all collides, all those decisions collide for this moment. And I break down like a car on the side of the road before I get on stage to perform. And she asked me, Tamika, did we come all this way for nothing? Because as a mother, she's like, hey, if you saying we need to go, I will pack you up gladly. We will go home. It's not worth you breaking down. I heard her question and I made another decision.
Solid.
I'm going to go further. I'm going to go again. And do you not know, and I'm talking to my Remnant family, y'all just eavesdropping, but do you not know, Remnant, I got on that stage and it wasn't just me. Now I have to tap into my faith now, because now I love Jesus now. I got on that stage, but God got on there with me. I ain't gonna lie to you. And all that I knew up until then, all the decisions that I had made up until then, God took all of that and helped me along the way on that stage. And it wasn't until the last moment that we all held our breath, wondering who won. And would you not believe it that I won? So, and it wasn't just about me winning. I went with the intention to say, if it's for me, it's for me. If it's not, it's not. But also, if it's for me, then it's not just for me. It's for my school. Because everybody kept saying Bowie State University, and that would drive me nuts. Because that means one of two things: you don't know this university, and everybody might be counting this university out because it is a smaller university compared to most. But aren't the children of Israel real small too? Oh, I ain't gonna preach on you tonight. I ain't gonna preach on you tonight. I ain't gonna do it. I ain't gonna do it. But catch me next time here, Remnant. just might bring a word.
You simple. You are simple. Christian, I remember, like, and you correct me if I'm wrong, you could probably tell the story better than I can. I remember there being the final question in your competition. Do you remember that question?
I do.
What was it?
The question was, if I was stranded on a desert island, what 2 things would I bring and why?
Do you remember your answer?
My 2 things was the Bible was one, and some animals was the second answer. Which at first they said 2 things, animals plural. Like I was like animals. But yes, I do remember that.
And I said,
or
yes. See, so that was part of my answer. You know. So they were asking me like, Dr. Dre, if I could for a second, they asked me, yeah. So that's your question that we're gonna give you, blah blah blah, right? Okay, so what are your 2 things and why? So I'm like, okay, a Bible for sure, right? I'm gonna pray, read this word throughout,
right,
you know, because God is gonna make a way out of no way.
right.
Then I was thinking, okay, if I have some animals while I'm praying and fasting, okay, these animals will grow. God will give me the animals fully grown so then I can eat them, okay, and stay healthy while I'm reading at the same time. So that was my answer off the top. That wasn't, because it was a list of like 50 questions. There's no way you could prepare for each one, you know, so that's what came to me.
Man, and I remember like everybody in that, like that arena, not really arena, but the auditorium just kind of erupted like, no, this dude did not. Like,
I mean,
and animals, like, what else would you bring?
And the crazy part is, I remember one judge looking at me, and as soon as I said some animals, she put her head down. I said, oh, man, there goes that. I ain't winning that one, but I'm going to go with it. Animals, that's what you told me, right? Animals, that's what I'm going to bring. I thought it was done after that.
So, Christian,
I think it's brilliant.
I do too. And so when they announced you, like, what as the winner, what kind of went through your mind at that moment?
So if you also remember, they announced the wrong winner at first.
Yes.
So I was the first runner-up or second runner-up, one of those 2. So I did get, came on my sash, and now like you, Tamika, I was like, look, I'm putting on for my school. I'm representing for my school. Yeah. Right, wrong, and different. First, last, 1,000th place. I'm here, Bowie State. We're in the building. Don't call us anything other than our names, the illustrious Bowie State University. And that's, that was my feeling at the time. So they called my name, first runner-up, second runner-up. Can't remember at the time. I'm like, oh, great. And I placed. I'm on the board. This is awesome. Double whammy. I'm here and I'm on the board. Great. And it's, it was a lot of great guys that were behind me still lined up. Because I think that, they call like the top 5. And I'm like, man, these guys are awesome representatives, awesome candidates. Shout out to y'all, whoever's the winner. Because mind you, I'm first, second runner-up. Then they, came to the first place winner. And I'm like, okay, cool. And then they're like, yeah, I think we have a problem or something. I'm like, oh. They're like, yeah, so actually, Mr. Bowie State, that's not correct. And the judge that put her head down came up and to tell them that it wasn't correct. And I'm like, oh, I got the answer totally wrong at the end. Go ahead and take the sash off, take my trophy. I'm like, I'll step back. They're like, no, first place runner-up is such and such. So that means your Miss HBCU is Christian Limas. And I'm like, no, it's not. You got to be kidding me. I mean, that totally caught me off. I mean, totally. I did not go down to this competition to win. I did not go down here to say I'm the best, to be Mr. HBCU. I went down there to represent my school and the gentlemen at my school and to show them how we do at Bowie State University. And I think that's what I wanted to do. That's the only thing. I didn't want to win and get my name up. I didn't want to do that. And to kind of go back to Tamika's, like, being on her court, I remember in my mind, it just seemed like so much pressure for you. Like, it just seemed like it was just this huge deal that you go down there and represent all this stuff and you're Broadway. So I know you're going to be this and you're going to do that. And I was like, man, like, this cannot be it. So then fast forward, it's Mr. HBCU. I'm like, I'm not going to pressure myself. I'm going to just do what I came here to do, show up, and So talk about surprise and talk about shocked. I was totally shocked at the whole thing.
Wow.
And that was like my of course I'll never forget it, because to be placed, then to lose, then to actually win.
Yeah.
I don't know, that's just mind blowing. So I was at a loss for words, man. Total loss for words.
Wow. Man, I can't. I seriously could not have. God could not have given me two better people to talk to about this. I like legit mean, like, that ain't fluff. Like, seriously. Like, I love both of y'all's personalities. I love where y'all are in life now. And I'm so glad we got to chop it up during this time, and you all were able to share some huge nuggets with my Remnant fam. So listen, y'all, that is it, man. Look, make sure you share this with your peers, because I mean, this is going to be incredibly helpful for anybody. So let's, just go ahead and put some hand claps, give some virtual pounds to Christian and Tamika. And again, thank y'all so much for coming out and doing this with me. We appreciate you all. And so we're going to wrap it up. What you got, Jazz?
Thank you, Mr. Christian and Ms. Tamika, for the advice and taking the time out to do the interview with Minister Dre. It was really helpful. And now I'm going to pray us out. Close your eyes and bow your head. Thank you, Father God, for allowing us to see another week and putting a hand of protection around us. For I can do anything through Christ who gives me strength. Amen.